Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I am Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agriculture Studies, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Let's go for today's online lecture. Chapter 1, Agriculture of Bangladesh. And this is the first chapter and first section, which is name is Scope of Agriculture of Bangladesh. Today's class will able to understand the concept of agriculture, then importance of agriculture, agriculture sectors in Bangladesh, field crop definition, characteristics and classification, horticulture crop definition, characteristics and classification, and then difference between field crop and horticulture crop. So first one is, what is the concept of agriculture? That means what we know about the agriculture. Agriculture comes from two words, which is agar and cultura, where agar means land and cultura means cultivation. That means cultivation land, then produce crop is called agriculture. This one is very important for your MCQ. Then little bit more description about the agriculture. Basically, in our country, about 62% population engaged in agriculture sector, and even we can earn total 14.22% GDP from the gross domestic product, which is called the gross domestic product from the agriculture sectors. And even agriculture is the basis of all civilization, and this is the part of everything, from the food we eat to the clothing we wear, everything. And agriculture also include processing, financing, marketing and distribution of agriculture products, and even farm production, supply and service as well. And it helps nutrition and food consuming. That means in our daily life, what we take the food, clothing, everything, and comes from the agriculture. Even sociological, economical, political, environment and cultural characteristics of the foods and fiber system as well. Now discuss about the importance of agriculture. We will divide some points, which is you can find the importance of agriculture. First one is agriculture in fulfilling basic needs. So first, we know the basic needs is food, clothing, medicine, household, everything. So first one is fulfill food demand. Whatever we eat in our daily life, it comes from the agriculture, like rice, wheat, maize, everything. Next one is, when we fulfilling the food demand, then we go to the next step, which is called cloth demand. We find all type of cloth like t-shirt, trousers, everything come from the agriculture, which is raw material is cotton, and we get the cloths from the cotton in the finished product. Next one is supply household materials like wood, bamboo, everything comes from the agriculture. Then supplying furniture materials, whatever you see in our inside the house, interior decoration like table, chair, drawer, then everything we make with the agriculture, which is the raw material of the tree. Next one is supplying fuel materials. That means for cooking we got wood, that is come from the agriculture as well. Next one is supplying medicinal and chemical items. The raw materials of the all type of medicine and chemical items is the plant, which is comes from the agriculture. Like for example, a neem, leaf of neem, this comes from the agriculture as well. Next one is agriculture as a field of employment. You see, agriculture service holder, like I said, about 62% of total services are depending on the agriculture, and even directly, indirectly, all people, maximum people include or related with the agriculture. Even in the rural livelihood, they about almost 80% of the total population of the villages depends on the agriculture directly, and 20% indirectly. Reducing poverty, even this one is create employment opportunity, and that is why it's reduce the poverty as well. Next one is agro-based industries and trade, like expanding industrialization, like in the, for example, jute mills, sugar mills, leather mills, bakery items, rubber, wooden furniture is all industries. Raw material is agriculture. So when the people making the industry, that time these raw materials come from the agriculture. And even expand in trade as well, we earn foreign currency for income, villages increases from the agriculture as well. And even at last government get the revenue and increase the revenue. Even government is earning almost 75% of its revenue income from the agriculture sector. Agriculture earning foreign currency, I told you before, it when you exporting different agriculture products like jute products, tea, leather, tobacco, silk, frozen fishes and shrimps, different vegetables, aromatic rice, etc., earning good amount of foreign currency. And from the above discussion, we can say that agriculture is the backbone of our country. Without the development of our agriculture, we cannot dream the development of our country. Now I'll discuss about the sectors in Bangladesh, agriculture sectors in our country, which is there will be five big sectors in our country. First one is crop, which we can divide it into two types. One is field crop, the other one is horticulture crop. I will discuss later on this lecture. Then livestock, then poultry. Livestock and poultry, you can say that the animal resources, and then fisheries and forestry. This is the five sectors of agriculture in our country. First one is crop subsector, which is, you see, all type of crop like rice, then wheat, maize, different type of tea, coffee, jute, all are in these sectors. And this sector deals with the all type of production and management of these crops and plant origin. Next one is livestock subsectors, which is all type of cow, cattle, buffalo, goat, sheep, including in this sector. You can see in this picture, here is the calf of a cow and the goat of goat, which is the including this sector as well. Then poultry sector, which is all type of chicken, pigeon, quail, duck, turkey in this sectors. That means rearing, producing and management of this poultry, duck, chicken are in this group. Fisheries subsector, all type of production and culture and management of all type of inland and marine fish like tilapia, rui, katla, mrigel, and even the marine fish as well is including in this sector. And the last one is forest subsector, all type of forest plant production, management and forest resources are in this sector. You can find in our country different type of forests in Sundarban, plainland forest, shal forest are in these sectors as well. If you have a look, this table, which is shows the agriculture sector in Bangladesh and their contribution in GDP, and here is the comparison from 2011-12 to till 2016-17. Here is the difference for sector, which is crop, field crop, and horticulture, including here fisheries, animal resources, that means livestock and poultry, and the forest resources. If you see crop 11.40, and in 2016-17 7.27, and here is the all results here, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16. Even fishery as well, you can see the data here. Animal resources, you can see the data here, and forest resources, you can data here. And in 2011-12, the all total contribution is here 20.15, then 12-13 18.70, and 13-12 14 15.11, and 14-15 15.19 and 97, and 15-16 50.35. This is the contribution. Now I told you before the crop is two types, which is concepts of field crop. The other one is concepts. First one is field crop, and the other one is horticulture crop. Now discussing about the field crop. So what is field crops? If you see, field crops is is the crop which are generally grown in large area, lowland, medium land, highland, every land, and not taken care individually. People are taking care accordingly. And example of these crops is pulse crops, wild seeds crops, fiber crops, sugar crops, green manure crops. If you see the have a look the picture over here, it indicate the example of field crop. So what will be the characteristics of field crops? I told you before as well, this one is cultivated in large area, then taking care simultaneously, then the intensity of interculture operation is general. Exception is cotton ball, no fence is required, sometimes without irrigation. Then generally there is annual crops, maximum annual crops, exception tea, harvest together. Then price is higher in the season time. Risk is and cost of production is higher than horticulture crop. This is the characteristics of field crop. Classification of field crop. What will be the classification? First one is the grain or cereal crop, which is the example is the rice, wheat, and this is, you see the pictures of maize, which is the example of cereal crops, and this is the fruits of the maize. Next one is pulse crops, all type of pulse like lentil, mung bean, cashew ears, including in this field crop. This is the example of pulse crops in the picture, which is shows the lentil, which is this is the plant of lentil, and this is the finished products of lentil. You can find this yellowish color lentil in our market. Next one is wild seed crops, all type of wild seed crops like mustard, then sunflower, soybean. This is the example of wild seed crops, and this picture shows the mustard crops, and this is the seeds of mustard crops. Next one is fiber crops, which is the example of fiber crops. This is the jute plant, and this is the fiber of jute. Even cotton as well is the example of fiber crop. Sugar crops, all type of sugar producing crops like sugar cane, sugar beet, is an example of sugar crops. This is the sugar cane plant, and this is the individual sugar cane stem. Beverage crops, all type of beverages, which is the tea, coffee, are including in this crop. This is the field of sugar cane, a tea garden, and this is the tea leaf, and this is the finished product of tea leaf of beverage crops. Then forage crops, which is called kena ipilipil. Forage means the fodder crops for cattle. And then green manure crops, which produce the green manure. Here is the example of green manure, which is called doincha, and this is the close view of doincha leaf. Next one is concepts of horticulture crops. So horticulture crops is opposite of field crop, which is the generally grown on a small to large area of highlands near the homestead area. Our crops are individually taken care. Examples like all type of vegetables, fruits, spices, and flowers. So this is the characteristics of horticulture crops. When you can find that it can be cultivated in homestead area, a small area, but it need flood free and highland and individually taken care. Fence is needed, harvested individually, and then high price one is the season time. Then some are annual crops, some are biennial and perennial crops as well, and production cost is lower than the field crops. And then you need to no need to process the fruit. Like if you get the mango from the tree, you can straight away eat that one, consume that one. This is the characteristics of horticulture crop. Now the classification of horticulture crop. First one is vegetable types of crops. All type of vegetables are including in this as a horticulture crop, like potato. You see the broccoli, then cabbage, cauliflower, tomato, carrot, all type of vegetable crops. about 50 types of vegetable cultivated in our country. Next one is fruit type crops. All type of fruit type crops like you see the mango, banana, then apple, pineapple, then melon. All types are fruits crops. Berry. About 70 types of fruits cultivation in our country. Next one is flower types crops. All type of flowers like rose, dahlia, marigold, chrysanthemum. This is the example of flower type crops. About 30 types flowers cultivated in our country. Spices type crops, about 14 types spices cultivated in our country, which is you say cardamom, cinnamon, on coriander. This is the spices crops. Now have a look the difference between the field crops. First one is a large in field crop cultivated in large area. This one horticulture is small area. Fence, no need to fence needed. Consume, you cannot consume it straight away. You need to process field crop. But horticulture crop you can consume it straight away. Field crop sometimes no need the water or irrigation. Horticulture need the irrigation. Fence is needed, fence is not needed. And even need the process as well. Field crop, here is no process. The field horticulture crop, no fencing. Here is fencing required. And then this one is large, small, large area. This one is small area. So this is the in general difference between the field crop and horticulture crop. So what will be the question you can get from this chapter after completing the chapter, which is what is the meaning of agriculture, which is you can say that agriculture comes from two words, which is agar and cultura, which is means land and cultivation on. And CQ question you can get, explain the sectors of agriculture in Bangladesh for 2 marks.
My dear friends,
Again,
thank you very much for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you, and stay safe and stay home. Thank you very much.